All right, John, thank you for sitting down with me. So, pretty much kind of for those who don't know who you are, tell me a little bit about your situation and where you're at, what you're doing, and what things were like before we started working together.
I'm John Carver. I'm a D2 pitcher at Adelphi University. I'm a senior, and before I met Connor, I was had Tommy John in 2021, December 2021. Had another small little elbow surgery in December 2022 to remove some sutures that never dissolved in my elbow, and then going on from like 2023, I had a bunch of TOS symptoms. Came back for the 2024 spring, pitched a little bit, wasn't really too healthy. Um, and then last spring, the 2025 spring, I threw like 45 innings. Felt good, but was still like there's something that's missing. My arm still, I still had a little bit of the nerve pain, a little bit, my recovery wasn't great. And then pitched decent in the summer, and then finally reached out to Connor. Knew who Connor was, reached out to him um, right before the fall started, so around like August of 2025, and we got working together. And yeah.
So, what kind of stuff were you doing as far as like the rehab from the initial TJ and then as well into the TOS? What did that look like?
Yeah, so for the initial TJ, it was pretty standard. I was doing just PT 3 times a week, and that just wasn't working for me. It was like it took me maybe like a year and a half to come back from Tommy John, and it was just very simple. It was like completely like isolated on my arm and not looking at any other parts of my body. Even I got the graft taken from my hamstring. We never looked at that. So yeah, it was just traditional PT for that. And then when I got like some of the thoracic outlet symptoms, went to another physical therapist who actually helped me a lot. We did a lot of the PRI stuff, and it helped, but it still wasn't like my body wasn't all the way there. There were still the symptoms. I'd still have the flare-ups. I'd throw in game 40, 50 pitches after that. The velo would drop. And like I'd feel my collarbone get all tight. The like stickiness in my elbow, even like just shooting nerve pain down my hand. Uh, and then I was also working with Connected Performance, and they helped a ton. I got like love those guys over there, and they helped me so much. Still work with them, but I still felt like there was, a missing piece of the puzzle that needed to be solved.
Was surgery ever something that you considered for the TOS symptoms that you were experiencing?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, in the spring of 2025, it was my last start of the season, and we didn't make playoffs, right? So it was the week before the last weekend of the regular season, and I go like 2 and 2/3 uh of like perfect game. Like I'm shoving. I went like or 2 1/3. I forget if it was like 7 outs or 8 outs, but 7 up, 8 up and down. And then like threw a fastball and just felt my whole arm light up, and the shooting nerve pain down my hand was freaking out. Ended up only like finishing the game with like 4 innings, let up like 5 runs after that seventh or eight out. Walked a bunch of guys, like had no feeling. And my hand was on the bus ride home. My hand was like all ice cold the whole time. Just like the typical TOS. I was like, I'm screwed. I need to get surgery. Let's just try and get surgery and be back for next year. So I actually had an appointment scheduled with a surgeon for right after the spring season ended, and I was able to like manage my symptoms through working with my guy Praise over at CXN and then my PT a little bit. Um, but I was like, man, if this ever happens again, I'm screwed. Like I can't deal with this again. I can't have a setback like this, especially going into my last year of college. Um, so I was like, we definitely got to do something now. And that's why I started looking into you a lot more. Heard a lot of good testimonials. Um, and then, yeah, so I never went to that appointment. It's like I pitched like maybe 15 innings over the summer, not too much, and like managed through it, and then was started working with you. It was like let's get this fixed. So
When you're
yeah.
talking about the velo drop, what were you at and what did it drop to within that start?
within that particular start.
Mhm.
So, okay, because most of the season, most of the spring season, I was around like probably averaging around like 92, 91, 92, get up to 95, 96. And that start, I think I was like 92, 95, 92, 94 the first 7 or 8 outs. And then after that, I dropped down to like 89, 90, like that, like literally after one pitch. Um, Obviously, it wasn't just that one pitch. It was the culmination of all the pitches before, but it felt like that.
It felt like
So,
that was the pitch that did it.
oh yeah, I like grabbed my arm right after. I was like, oh, this is not good.
I've been there before,
But
multiple times, multiple times.
yeah.
So, what would you kind of say, or how would you describe the process of what we did together and how that was different than some of the other things that you had been exposed to before?
Yeah, so absolutely. I think the biggest thing that I like was new to me was obviously the understanding of the body and like the joints, like the alignment of the joints. Like I've always kind of known that was a thing, but I've never really understood it. So working with you, like I've like learned that and I've understand it, and I now like I can kind of feel my body like when it's out of whack or in different positions. Um, so yeah, that was huge. Just like the understanding of that. I think a lot of times with traditional PT, in my experience, they kind of leave you in the dark. Like, all right, like, yeah, your elbow hurts. Like, let's just, like after surgery, let's just jam it into extension or this or that. And it's like, why? Like, why is it hurting? Like, why does it can it? Why don't I have full range of motion? Why, like, can I not go overhead with my arm? Um, so you guys did like a great job of explaining that to me and making me understand why my body is doing the things it's doing. Also, then after that, I got into the PT where we're doing a lot of like PRI and like trying to expand my rib cage, stuff like that. But it's very passive. A lot of those movements were very passive, and we weren't actually like activating the muscles that will pull the joints into alignment. And when I started working with you, that was a big thing you talked about was like you need to activate certain muscles to kind of pull these joints into alignment. So a lot of the exercises we do, I can like feel that. I feel like certain things firing that I've never felt before. And like over the process of doing them, I feel my body like, more aligned. Even just like something we were working on was originally like, and I still am like a little rotated to the left. And like when we do the windmills on the wall, like I feel my left side expanding more, like, and it just like I just feel like way better, and there's like more room to rotate for that. So yeah, those are like the big things.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's really hard to describe that internal feeling that changes, but once
Yep.
you feel it, you understand it, but it's really hard to
Hmm.
verbalize it.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least from your own perspective, what do you think was really important about understanding the why behind what you're doing and why your body's position is relating to the symptoms? Because what you were talking about is my exact experience within PT as well.
Hmm.
Is, hey, you have this injury, this is what we do for it, but there's no explanation behind why you're doing that specific thing.
Yeah, so I think there's two big things. I think that if the athlete or the client like me just being the person like doesn't understand the why, then it's really hard to create buy-in because like I know as a client like if I'm paying for a service and I have no clue why I'm doing it, I'm not gonna want to do it. But if I understand why I'm doing it and why it's going to help me and like why it's going to benefit me, I'm going to want to buy in and I'm going to want to do the work and the exercises. So that was a big thing, like having a clear understanding of why I'm doing what you're giving me and how it's going to help me obviously created that buy-in for me. And then it also just the other thing is understanding it kind of helps me create like a mind like body connection during the exercises and where my body is like just kind of like a understand where my body is through space and even just walking around. I can feel now like when my shoulders rolled forward and I can kind of feel like it's compressing the nerve going down my arm. Um, and I'm like, oh shoot, like I gotta kind of reset that. I gotta go hit something and make it feel a little bit better. But yeah, so
How long did it take for you to initially start to feel some results from doing the exercises that we were doing together?
It was pretty quick. So it was like I remember, I don't know the exact date. I could pull it up, like I have the text receipts, but I remember when we first started working together. I think it was August like 1st, August 2nd. Um, and I got to school August 25th and was throwing bullpens like first week of September. And I remember throwing a bullpen the first week of September, second week of September, and I was like feeling really good. I was like my body felt like great. And I had my buddy get the radar gun out and I was like 92, 94 in the bullpen, just flicking it. And I hadn't felt like that in a bullpen in a long time. And then next day I was like fine. Like I'm usually a guy who everyone who's had Tommy John or anything can relate to this. Like you throw on the next day, you're like your arms like moving like this, trying to extend and flex it. It's all tight. So that was money. It felt great. And then I went out in lives that week and was 93, 95, my first live of the fall. And I'm rarely ever 93, 95 in games. Like that's like my like peak velo. And then yeah, throughout the fall, I had a couple outings where I was down and I dropped down to like 90, 91, 92. But I also had a couple outings that I was 93, 95. The command was way better. That's always been an issue for me is like the fastball command. So yeah, like threw an immaculate inning, all fastballs in the fall. And so yeah, it was definitely like pretty quick overnight that I saw the changes in my body and like the changes on the mound, obviously. Just the confidence. I think that's like the biggest thing is if I can walk out there and know that my body's not going to fail me, that I'm not going to like have to worry about, oh, sh like shoot, like if I throw a pitch, like I'm going to feel tingles down my arm or like a pull in my elbow. If I don't worry about that, then it's like you literally can feel invincible on the mound, and that's like kind of a feeling I've been chasing for a long time. So having that has helped so much.
So interesting that you brought up command because I know you and
Hmm.
I kind of like looked at your mechanics and talked about how these exercises that you're going to do are going to translate to your mechanics, but I've never like told you, hey, you need to get into this position or do X, Y, Z. So
Hmm.
how do you feel like the realigning of your body has helped with the repeatability of your mechanics for the command?
Yeah. So I think personally, the command is like it's been a two-factor thing for me. It's obviously like the training I've put in, like with throwing, a lot of stuff I've done with praise with connected performance. He's like helped me change my command like night and day. But also I think that with like your program, if my joints are more aligned and my body's able to like get into better positions, then naturally, like the throw is going to be cleaner. The mechanics are going to kind of clean up naturally. I'll be able to get to the same release point, stuff like that. Also, like a big issue I had was we've talked about like my lower left back when I was blocking, and there had to be like some sort of compensations there that like would make me pull off or open up early. Um, so being able to just have my joints more aligned and have my body feel better, I think has just resulted in my mechanics cleaning up kind of on their own a little bit naturally. Yeah.
So feel free to tell me if I'm wrong here, but do you feel
Hmm.
like having your body in a better position allowed you to get more out of the work that you were doing with praise because you could feel those different positions or drills that you were trying to accomplish?
Absolutely. I 100% like 100%. I think like me and Praise have been working together for like 2.5 years now, and I've made so like many leaps and bounds. But I think that the only thing that's ever held me back was like again, like my body, like I was subconsciously was feeling like there's something a little bit wrong with my body. Like, yeah, I could go out there, I could go, throw 96 or something, and then like, but like I wouldn't feel great and I wouldn't be able to like know where the ball is going all the time. Um, so now that I'm able to like get my body into better positions, my body's able to feel better. I'm able to like train more. I feel like I recover faster. I'm able to throw more because that's the biggest thing. Like if I'm not healthy and I can't throw, how am I supposed to get better? You literally can't. So, um, that's just been such a game changer.
In terms of the kind of investment that you've made with this, like as far as the time that you spent doing the exercises and the money that you've spent to try
Mhm.
to do this, do you feel like that has been worth what it's cost you?
Absolutely. I think like the obviously like if you have a pursuit in life, like a passion, you're gonna have to invest in yourself. You're gonna have to invest in other people. So it's obviously worth it. And the time commitment isn't even like crazy. I'm already dedicating, if you're very serious about baseball or you're very serious about a passion in life, you're gonna have to dedicate time to it. So I'd say maybe an hour a day max is like kind of what I'm committing to it. If I do the program twice, maybe it's an hour and a half. Um, and then obviously like the financial investment, it's of course been worth it for me. Obviously, like I want to go play professional baseball and I don't want to be 70 years old and look back on my life and be like, shoot, I really should have just like paid for this service. I really should have just like done this to, see if it would have helped. Um, so yeah, it's been a complete, absolutely like worth it. I wouldn't have signed up again for 6 months if I didn't think it was worth it. But yeah, I think like at the end of the day, you got to pay people to get yourself better. There's not like there's a lot of people that are a lot smarter than you are everywhere, and there's a lot of people that like have information that you won't have access to if you don't, make a financial investment. So you got to make those investments if you want to be good at anything.
No, I absolutely agree with you on that.
Hmm.
In terms of what you would say to somebody who's kind of on the fence about wanting to do something like this, what would you say to that person?
I would say, I would say you should do it absolutely because being in like knowing it, like being in a state of like injury or like having arm issues for years, literally like 3, 4 years, where like yes, I was healthy for a year or two, healthy, like I could throw and I could pitch, but there was something off. The the complete like mental shift from like worrying and feeling there's something wrong with you to like being confident in your body is like worth more than any monetary investment like in the world because I'm not like everybody knows that when you're injured, you're stressed 24/7. You're always looking for the next best thing that's going to fix you, that's going to make you feel better. You always think there's something wrong with you, that like you're worried, you're not confident in your ability to perform. And then you're literally like for me, I was like completely riddled with like performance anxiety, all these things. I was like felt like I needed to hit XYZ checklist just to be ready to throw. So that's really like the investment that's been like the biggest return on investment for me has been that, like the mental clarity, the mental like confidence in myself and my body. And if you're on the fence, you just have to decide like, do you want that for yourself? Do you want that? Are you really like, are you serious about it? Is this what you want for yourself? Because if you are, like, it's gonna take you to the next level. It's gonna get you healthy. It's gonna get you feeling good. You just have to buy in. Just do it.
I think there's something that I've been saying a lot, at least to like the kids that I coach on my 12-year-old team is like if you say
Hmm.
you want something, you have to be willing to pay the price of admission for it. And that's not
Yep.
always money or time. Like what you're talking about is if you say that you want to do all of these things, it is going to cost you something to get that.
Hmm.
If you aren't willing to do the things to get there, then you don't want it bad enough.
Yep. Absolutely. It's like there there has to be some sort of sacrifice for anything good in life, you know? Like
Mhm.
the people who achieve things don't just achieve them like, whoop-de-doo, like it just happened. Like
Fell
no,
into it.
it doesn't work like that. Some people are genetically gifted, sure. You got guys like 16 in the DR throwing 98, but if you're most people aren't like that. So yeah.
In terms of goals, I heard you say pro ball, but as far as like
Yep.
what you're hoping to get out of this upcoming season last year in college, what's kind of on the checklist of what you want to accomplish?
Yeah, so biggest thing, obviously, like, I just want to win. Like we got a new head coach and he's the man, and I want to go out there and win like a conference championship. Um, that's like the biggest thing. But personal, I I want to log like 70 innings, be healthy, not miss a start. Um, and then just like the command. So I want to keep walks like 4 walks per nine or less. Um, want to average 93 plus. And yeah, that's like those are big ones for me. I think like 65% strikes with everything, primarily the fastball though, because if I could keep my fastball in the zone, it's going to let everything else play. Uh, so those three things right there, I think are going to be big unlocks for me to just up my performance. Because like I got good results, but what limited me was the walks, the drop in stuff after like pitch number 60. Um, so yeah, just being healthy, being able to keep my stuff deeper into games and not miss starts. And another big thing is with being healthy is being able to throw more in between starts. I would find myself like if I was usually starting on Saturday or Sunday. So let's say Saturday, I'm not throwing a ball harder than 50 miles an hour till like Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's like it's tough to really work on your stuff during the week to prepare for the next start if you're not feeling good till 3, 4 days after your start. Um, so yeah, those are really the big goals for me. And then obviously, hopefully get drafted or sign and get into pro ball.
Well, I would love nothing more than for you to get there, dude. I think you
Thank
put
you.
in all the work to be able to go out there and do those things. Like at this point, I think you paid the price to go do the things that you say that you want to do.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm like itching every day. When I'm texting praise, I'm like, when are we gonna throw bullpens? When are we gonna do this and that?
Itching to
So
throw, and it's not from the C4.
yeah, no, no, no. Maybe it was a double espresso I had 20 minutes ago, but
That'll do it too. That'll do it.
but yeah, so it's good. I mean, I feel good. Like I sent you that video the other day on the short slope, feeling like flicking the ball. And then I did like 2 days later, I hopped up on there and did like like the jump back throws, like you
Mhm.
jump back. This light flick 90 was good, so I feel pretty good. We'll see.
I can see the confidence, dude. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
I think what you're talking about, like the mental shift, like the first time we got on the phone together, you're like, I mean, I can do this, but I can't do it at the level that I want. And now you're
Yep.
kind of like exuding this confidence of like, oh shit, like I know I can go do this now.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like that's completely it. Because it was always I would step on the mound and be like, oh shit, like when you step on the mound and you're just not like you're not all there. You're in your head. You're like, oh, can I do this? Is my arm gonna like hold up? Like I would sometimes be like nervous to throw fastballs because of my arm and like the command of it. I was not confident in it at all. Last year, I think my between like slider, changeup, curveball, the usage rate of like the off speed was like close to like 70%, 71, 72%. Because I was just like, shit, I'm not gonna throw the fastball. I have no clue
At
where's it
95 in the
going.
back
Like
pocket, we're throwing it 24% of the time.
yeah, like that was like a big thing with scouts too, is they're like, why are you not as confident throwing your fastball at like the D2 level? You have a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and you're barely throwing it. Uh, and it's just tough. It's tough to sit there and say, well, yeah, I'm not confident at all. Like I'm like terrified to throw my fastball because I feel like I'm gonna drill this guy in the face. So yeah,
All right,
yeah,
man. Well, I appreciate you sitting down with me. And as always, like if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
I will, of course.